I still remember the night my mother whispered, "One day you'll leave this place and never look back." At the time, I didn't believe her. Because when you grow up in a house where the roof leaks every time it rains, where dinner is sometimes just tea and hope, dreams feel like a luxury you can't afford. My name is Millie, and this is the story of how I went from having nothing to building a life I once thought only existed in movies. But more importantly, it's the story of how the people I trusted the most almost destroyed me. I was born in a small village where everyone knew each other's struggles, but no one had the power to change them. My father passed away when I was just 8 years old. After that, it was just me and my mother, fighting every single day to survive. She worked endlessly, cleaning homes, washing clothes, doing anything she could. And I studied, because I believed education was the only door that could take me out of that life. Years passed. I worked harder than anyone around me. Late nights, empty stomach, tired eyes, but I never stopped. And then, one day, everything changed. I got a scholarship to study in America. I still remember holding that letter in my shaking hands. It felt unreal, like someone had written my name into a story that didn't belong to me. My mother cried that day. Not tears of sadness, but something deeper, something hopeful. "You're not just going for yourself," she said. "You're going for both of us." And I promised her I would never waste that chance. When I arrived in America, everything felt overwhelming. The language, the people, the culture, even the silence felt different. But I adapted, slowly, carefully, patiently. I studied, I worked part-time jobs, I saved every dollar. And somewhere along the way, I met Daniel. He was kind, gentle, supportive in ways I had never experienced before. For the first time in my life, I felt seen. "You're stronger than you think," he would tell me. And I believed him. We built a life together. Not perfect, but peaceful. Or at least, that's what I thought. Because what I didn't know back then was that everything I was building was standing on a lie.
At first, the signs were small. Daniel started coming home late. His phone was always face down. He laughed less and avoided eye contact more. I told myself I was overthinking. After all, he had supported me through everything. He was there when I struggled, when I cried, when I felt lost. But something inside me refused to stay quiet. One night, I asked him directly, "Is everything okay?" He smiled, too quickly. "Of course, just work stress." I wanted to believe him. I really did. But truth has a strange way of revealing itself, even when you're not ready. A few weeks later, I found it. A message, not meant for me. "Can't wait to see you again tonight. Heart." My hands froze. My heart didn't break immediately. It paused, like it was trying to understand what it had just seen. I scrolled further. More messages. More lies. More pieces of a life I didn't know he was living. And in that moment, everything shattered. When he walked into the room, I was still holding his phone. He looked at me, and I saw it. Not guilt, not regret, but fear of being caught. "You were going to tell me, right?" I asked. He stayed silent. That silence told me everything. "I supported you," I whispered. "I trusted you. I built my life with you. and he said something I will never forget. It just happened. Those 3 words, they destroyed something inside me. Because betrayal is not just about being hurt. It's about realizing that the person you trusted chose to hurt you. That night, I didn't scream. I didn't cry in front of him. I just walked away. But healing isn't immediate. The days that followed were heavy. Every memory felt like a lie. Every moment we shared replayed in my mind with a different meaning. I questioned everything, my worth, my decisions, even my strength. But slowly, something changed. I stopped asking, why did he do this? And started asking, what do I do now? That question saved me, because instead of staying broken, I decided to rebuild, stronger, smarter, and this time for myself. I focused on my career. I worked harder than ever before. I invested in myself, learned new skills, and slowly started climbing. Opportunities came, promotions followed, and for the first time, I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. But deep inside, there was still a part of me that wanted closure. Not revenge out of anger, but justice out of truth. And one day, I got it.
It happened unexpectedly. I was invited to speak at a professional event, something I had worked years to achieve. A room full of people, leaders, professionals. And as I walked onto that stage, I saw him, Daniel, sitting in the audience. For a moment, time froze. But this time, my heart didn't break. It didn't even shake, because I wasn't the same person anymore. I began speaking about my journey, about leaving home, about struggle, about building a life from nothing. And then I paused. There was a time, I said, when I believed someone else's presence to find my happiness. The room was silent. But life has a way of teaching you that the people who break you are often the ones who push you to discover your true strength. I didn't mention his name. I didn't need to, because this wasn't about exposing him. It was about reclaiming myself. After the event, he approached me. "I'm sorry," he said. For the first time, he looked genuine. But it didn't matter anymore. I smiled, not out of love, not out of anger, but out of peace. "I hope you've learned something," I said. And then I walked away. No drama, no revenge scenes. Just closure. Because real revenge is not destroying someone else. It's rebuilding yourself so powerfully that their absence no longer matters. Today, my life is not perfect, but it's mine, built with strength, shaped by pain, and guided by lessons I will never forget. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Sometimes the people who hurt you the most are the ones who unknowingly lead you to your greatest transformation. And sometimes, losing someone is the beginning of finding yourself. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever been betrayed by those closest to you, know that you are stronger than the pain. Drop a comment below. I read every single one. And remember, keep blooming. If you like my story, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it.